Guys, I finally finished it. We can finally do this thing.
I know what you're thinking. It's been a month. Where have you been? Well, good question. I don't know. Well, I do. I was kind of lost in all the work I've had to do, and at the farm and over here and projects, and time gets in the way, and yeah, no good reasons. The snow melted all so fast this year that it got psychological. It was like the season's gone. I haven't done all the things I wanted to do. All the projects were not done. There's even people that send me some messages on the website and I haven't got back to them in quite a while. So by the time of this video airs, all the messages are going to be answered. But my apologies for everybody that sent me a message and I didn't respond in time for a little while. So sorry about that. I've had some projects I wanted to be done in time for Christmas and they're not done yet. Talking about this. Well, it's kind of, done at this point, but I wanted that snowmobile to be done by Christmas so I can present it as a challenge. It was part of the Nitro challenge I did, and I know I was late and I was not able to prepare it in time for my own challenge, oddly enough. There is one person that participated though, and he built a Nitro snowmobile out of Ski Ride, which is one of the 3D printed sleds available today. I think he did a good job. I did send him his reward for participating. He's got the complete kit and future updates for the Alpha 6, but he was kind of the only one to participate, so I still had the Nitro ZX that was working at the time. It's just not that much of a challenge because it was already a Nitro sled from the beginning. So what's so special about this one? Well, I've been talking about it a little bit. Not a lot of info though, mostly just beauty shots and that sort of thing. So this is a G4 with a 0.32 LRP Spec 4 engine. So this engine normally develops a bit more than 4 horsepower, which was the biggest number I could find for a Nitro engine in a reasonable size class that would fit inside the snowmobile. But unmodified, it would have never fit inside of it. So I had to make a water cooling chamber for the cooling head. I had to do all sort of thing inside because this is, when you think of it, the Nitro engine does require some space for insulation, for gas tanks, for coolant lines. There's a lot of things needed to make a Nitro engine work, and I had a lot of work to be done to this to make it all work. That's one of the reasons why it took so long to build, is because, you do most of the work and then you realize that there's only 1% left. And there's always that 1% left. Oh, I could do this too, I could improve it this way. Well, it just kept happening for the snowmobile for some reason. There's always something happening and you fix it and there's always something else. I was able to bring it out to film it with my brother in the garage to try to start it. So here's how it went. that's exactly what happened. I was not able to start the engine. And trust me, I've had many engines in my life, so I know how to start them, I know how to tune them, or at least make them run good enough for a video, make it rip around. You know, I'm not a professional tuner, but I know how to tune them to make it work, to make some power. So I was kind of puzzled by this one. I wasn't able to start it. I was like, what's going on? So I started playing with the carburetor. That didn't solve it. Factory settings, custom settings, tried to play around with it, pinch the fuel line, more fuel, less fuel, play with this plug, different type, different temperatures. I couldn't start it. I didn't know what was going on. It took me quite a bit of time to actually figure it out. There was actually multiple problems on this one. Eventually I was like, maybe there's something wrong with the carburetor. So I eventually found out that LRP made a new version of that engine called the 4.1. It's LRP 0.32 version 4.1 or something like that. So I was like, okay, well, it claims to have more power. It's a different combustion chamber. Let's give it a try. Different carburetor too. So I purchased it, tried to make it run. It got it to run eventually. It took me quite a bit of time, and I'm not sure if it's factory settings are way off or something like that, but eventually I got it fired up. I was like, okay, I know my carburetor is set right to start the engine. So now let's try the carburetor, bring it back to the first sled. Could not start it, couldn't figure out what was going on. We're talking like in March, April at this point. So I just got back to it a few weeks ago. I know my carburetor is good. I even changed fuel halfway because I thought fuel was bad, which it was not, but I thought it could be. Finally was able to start it. I still had to use the new carburetor, but the make or break was the fact that the fuel tank was just like an inch too low. So it doesn't build enough back pressure to feed the fuel to climb in the carburetor. So I just had to raise the fuel tank a bit more so then it would start. So that's what happened. Now I can talk about the engine right here in front of me instead of having it halfway buried inside the sled. I had to resort back to a typical exhaust pipe to see if I can even start it. I haven't tried the new pipe yet. This one, pretty sick pipe if you ask me. I also had to make my own motor plate so I can have some support for the engine so it doesn't touch like the plastic directly. It is water cooled from the inside, so even if this touches the plastic, the aluminum is going to be cooled, which is pretty nuts. So with the way this is set up, I'm pretty sure I could get it started in like a couple seconds. So let's give that a try. So we'll plug igniter, let's prime the fuel. Now let's move to my basement. Got it. So now all there is to do is to complete the final assembly, put some Loctite where there needs to be Loctite, make sure everything is clean, make sure everything is perfect how it should be, and give it a run, see how it goes. She's complete, in pieces, but she's complete. So thanks for watching, I hope you liked it, and see you next time. Oh, one more thing. If you purchase the kit for the Alpha, one of these, if you purchase the digital kit, I am very soon going to release packs that you can have like all the hardware, the screws, the rod, everything except for the electronics and springs. Everything's going to come in a package. I know I've said that back in like February that they're going to be available, but truth is, if I have to change the design, I might as well do it now before I make the hardware available. So I made myself a nice drawer with all the screws, different size. So I have a ton of screws now. It's just that it's a matter of making everything just perfect before I roll out with these kits. And they're even going to come with track wires. I'm currently working on making my own wire cutter machine, which are going to cut the wire all the proper lengths and everything. So it's not finished yet, but it's close. So like I said, it's a matter of weeks before I have some hardware kit available for these things. I'm gonna try to price them nicely so it's cheaper than, you know, buying it one-off. I'll see what I can do. I'll do my best to give the best price I can, and yeah, coming soon. Ciao.